Hello friends, today we are going to learn the details about Dr. Faustus, which is extremely important play from the examination point of view. Before we go into the story of Dr. Faustus, let us talk about its Greek mythological connection as well. Okay, so let's start. Here, Faustus' tale is linked with Greek mythology, and here in Greek mythology we find Icarus. Okay, Icarus and his father created wings. The wings were of feather and wax. Okay, and this was made in order to escape out of Crete. This is island. Okay, this is 88th greatest island of the world, and it is in Germany. Okay, so father and son, they started their journey, but father had instructed him not to fly too low because the feather might get water of the sea. Okay, it might get soaked and it will become heavy, and they won't be able to fly. Next, not to fly too close to the sun because the wings are made up of wax, it might get melted. But Icarus ignores father's instruction and he goes closer to the sun. His feather gets melted and he gets drawn into the sea and eventually he dies. Okay, so this is the connection with Dr. Faustus. Now, what is there in the story of Faustus, Dr. Faustus? Let us find out. Friends, Dr. Faustus was written by Christopher Marlowe and he belongs to 16th century. He is contemporary to William Shakespeare as well. Okay, the full name of Dr. Faustus is Dr. John Faustus, and the original name of the play is The Tragical History of the Life and Death of Dr. Faustus. And this is based on German folklore, which I have already discussed. It is an Elizabethan play because during this period they used to discuss the problem of magic, liberation, and damnations were discussed in the country. Okay, now let's move towards the genre of the play. Okay, it belongs to morality play, and the themes are knowledge and power, influence of absolute power, and then the divided nature of man. Okay, in the first theme we find the knowledge that we have, it should be utilized in a positive way, and the power we have or we gain, it should be utilized positively. Okay, in the influence of power, we should not be corrupt, we should not be self-centered. That is the message that we receive. The divided nature of man. See friends, human beings are having both the qualities, good and bad. Nobody can be declared as totally white or totally black because our emotion changes with the situation, our views and perspective also changes, right? Therefore here we find dilemma of human mind. Okay, let's move ahead. This play is in 5 acts. Okay, let's go towards the summary now. In the summary we find Dr. Faustus, who is an ambitious German scholar in Wittenberg, German University. Okay, and he is the protagonist of the play as well. Here we find Dr. Faustus, who was extremely learned person. Okay, he had become unsatisfied with mundane subjects. He wanted more knowledge. He wanted to read more. He did not get satisfied with theology, law, science, etc. Okay, now he wants to do something extra. Now this necromancy was something which he did not try yet. So Dr. Faustus wants to learn necromancy or black magic. For that purpose, he calls his servant Wagner. Okay, Wagner comes and Dr. Faustus instructs him to summon or call his two best friends, Vals and Cornelius. Okay, now why these two friends? Why not anyone else? It is because Vals was a witchcrafter and Cornelius was a magician. Okay, now he wanted to learn from these two friends about necromancy or black magic. Okay, let's move ahead. At that point of time, when he was about to start with black magic learning, good angel and bad angel appears. Okay, they want, especially good angel wants to warn him about the consequences of his act. But Bad Angel persuades him. She convinces him, and he continues with the task. Valls and Cornelius also speaks about power that he will get with black magic. Here we find always negative or bad virtues persuade us. It is upon us whether we are going to stand with that or we are going to take up good values. Okay. Now, Dr. Faustus begins his necromancy, and then he starts to call a demon. Okay, with all the arrangements. Now, devil Mephistopheles appears, and by look he was so hideous. Okay, he could not tolerate. Dr. Faustus could not tolerate his face, therefore he commands him to change his appearance, and so this devil does. All right. Then he says that he becomes very happy. Dr. Faustus becomes very happy that he is listening. Mephistopheles is listening to him. He becomes very proud. But he says, Metrophilus says that it is not because of his skill that he has changed his appearance, but because of his powers. Okay, and because of Lucifer, he is able to gain powers and not from him. Then we see Dr. Faustus tries to bind him to service. Dr. Faustus wants Mephistopheles, a devil, to work for him. But he totally denies. He says for doing that, he requires permission from his devil master, that is Lucifer. He is also called Prince of Devils. Okay, and he is the one, Lucifer is the one to monitor all the activities of Mephistopheles. Okay, Mephistopheles introduces him to Lucifer, who is he and what kind of power he has, and then Dr. Faustus becomes aware. Then Dr. Faustus says that Mephistopheles convey a message to Lucifer that Dr. Faustus is ready to give his soul if he will agree with his terms and conditions. Okay, now Mephistopheles goes back to Lucifer and tells the desire of Dr. Faustus that he wants to he wants to have Mephistopheles as his servant. For that, he is ready to give his soul. Now, Mephistopheles discusses about hell at that point of time. He says that what is the condition of hell, and he says it does not have any limit, and people and the souls rather who comes in this hell, they suffer a lot. Okay, Dr. Faustus signs a pact or the contract. Okay, now according to the contract, Mephistopheles will be servant to Dr. Faustus, and 24 years of life will be given to Dr. Faustus. Okay, where he will be given magical powers. He will be given a servant, Mephistopheles, okay, and who will have magical powers. And um, over this over this power, Dr. Faustus will have full command. Whatever he wish, he can make Mephistopheles do. So this was the pact, and he is ready for that because it is handsome contract right now for Dr. Faustus. But let us see what happens next. Dr. Faustus further said, after 24 years, Dr. Faustus will surrender body and soul to Lucifer, and contract to be signed with Dr. Faustus' blood. Okay, and for this he had to take out a knife and cut his arm. While doing so, blood clots. Okay, he is not able to sign the pact, and this was sign of God to avoid this pact. But Dr. Faustus avoids it. Okay, and in the play, it is said that it is divine intervention which is ignored by Dr. Faustus. This is a sign that divine power um, asking Dr. Faustus to avoid this pact, but he signs it with his blood because now blood was again normalized with the help of burning coal, which was brought by Mephistopheles, the devil, the servant devil of Lucifer. Okay, now he is bound into the pact. Okay, Mephistopheles is with Dr. Faustus. Now Dr. Faustus avoids going to university, and lecturers, other colleagues becomes concerned about him that why he is not appearing in the university. Okay, and they come to his home to see whether what is the matter, but they fail to understand, and um, his they ask his servant, and servant initially denies Okay, but later on he tells everything to those people. Now, Dr. Faustus and Mephistopheles, they are enjoying company. Okay, Dr. Faustus asks many questions related to so many things, and Mephistopheles is not willing to answer him. He avoids giving importance to all the questions. Okay, all the questions. Therefore, Dr. Faustus finds Mephistopheles untrustworthy. And there was another incident also because of which we can say Mephistopheles was untrustworthy. It is because Mephistopheles, when Dr. Faustus asks the question of universe, who created universe, then Mephistopheles denied to give answer because he did not want to utter God's name from his mouth. Okay, so this was supposed to be understood by Dr. Faustus, but he avoids. Okay, he ignores blatantly. In between, Dr. Faustus wants to give up magic, but Bad Angel stops him. In between, Dr. Faustus realizes that maybe he is doing wrong, he's doing something which is morally not upright, but Bad Angel appears and she stops Dr. Faustus doing so. Okay, then we see Lucifer himself appears with another devil, Beelzebub. Okay, Beelzebub and Mephistopheles, and he frightens Dr. Faustus about the pact. He says that he should abide by the pact, otherwise he will make his life hell. Okay, Lucifer brings 7 deadly sins in front of him. It was to entertain him, and it was God's warning also, which Dr. Faustus ignores. Okay, Dr. Faustus ignores this sign that if he will continue being with Lucifer, then he is also going to commit 7 deadly sins. But he totally ignores. Okay. After this incident, he gains great fame and power. After the incident means after getting the power from devil. Okay, after conjure he gets power, and that power is utilized in a wrong way. Okay, in order to get name and fame, he utilized this power not to benefit people. All right, so it was not worthy. Okay, the powers were not worthy at all. After that, we see he uses temporary powers for practical jokes and frivolous demonstrations to the nobility. He plays prank with horsemen. He plays prank with king, okay, queen, and other people. But there was no particular purpose, a strong purpose of uh, for after getting this power. Okay, then we see at last he realizes his follies and gives a lecture on how he is damned. He repents. Dr. Faustus, after enjoying his life with this power, okay, he wants everything of the world. He wanted to roam around. He goes with Mephistopheles. He talks about courts. He goes to courts, places, people. He goes everywhere. But the purpose was zero. Okay, he could not learn anything, he could not impart his learned thing as well. All right, at last he realizes his follies and he wants to repent, but it was too late. On the 11th hour, Mephistopheles comes to collect Faustus' soul, and he was taken to hell. Dr. Faustus begs for mercy, but those devils did not turn a deaf ear towards his plea. Okay, eventually, because of his temporary power and pleasure, Dr. Faustus, a learned man, a scholar, a resourceful person, dies. Okay, without giving anything to the world. So, this is the end of the play, friends. And here you must have noticed that it is a morality play. We get a moral lesson from this uh, literary work of Christopher Marlowe. Okay, so we will end this play here. We will meet in our next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.